Well, hello. Yeah, I hope my reputation doesn't go down the drain when I post this video, but hear me out. This clown needs to be exposed. And of course, I will be doing this rant since the package reviewer hasn't gotten around to tackling him yet. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to touch on him, the package reviewer. You should do it since this guy has a lot to unpack. Yeah, I will be ranting about Zero Dragon 68. Now keep in mind, this video is only meant for a criticism towards this user. It is not meant to harass anyone. It's just meant to expose his wrongdoings and to expose him for what he really is, and of course to for him to seek help on bettering his, well, reputation, so to speak. Yeah, this guy needs to be exposed for what he's done. Bear with me. Yeah. As you can tell already, I'm really pissed off at him. So pissed off that I got myself a gun. Keep in mind, this is only a Nerf gun. Because, well, the last time I used a real gun in videos, yeah. Well, something that looked like, well, it's a BB gun, but it looked like a real gun. Someone got upset, so, yeah, we'll be using a Nerf gun. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Zero Dragon 68 is the Zero Paladin XV4 of the Loud House Hate'em. And his shtick has only gotten worse. Just like Zero Paladin XV4, he has an unnecessary hatred towards a certain show. In this case, the Loud House. So, we'll be going over his comments and how he has been doing this. Yeah, so I'm only doing this because the package reviewer somehow hasn't done a rant on Zero Dragon 68. So I'm here to unpack and unfold his antics. Alright, so yeah, if you see, he comes up with the excuse, the whole internet agrees with me. Yeah. Believe me, I've talked to this clown and it is impossible to reason with him. Don't even bother reasoning with him. You're only wasting your time. Yeah. I want you to take a look at his comments. Yeah, that's one of my good friends, Jay Lenny, the Lenny Loud fan, and look. You see, like, I made a good point about Zero Dragon 68, and yeah. Just look here. Look at this. Complete lies. I'm only doing it because the internet and cartoon community agrees with... You forgot to put me, by the way. You're not allowed to like TLH, and people who do deserve to be harshly punished. What the hell? That's BS! People are allowed to like what they want. There's no law against hating the Loud House. I don't believe this guy. I really don't. And that's not all. He said the whole internet agrees with him. But that's a bold statement because he only has 7 followers on Twitter. And he only has 1 watcher on DeviantArt. And his DeviantArt page is nothing too special. Yeah. If you can see, this guy is a clown who, of course, believes that he's so much smarter than everyone else, but in reality, he's only a loser who God knows how old he is, who is wasting his time making pointless comments and doing pointless things, and it makes you wonder why he hasn't banned yet. Seriously, like, I can't believe him. And this is even worse by the fact that he is wishing death on children. A lot of Loud House fans are children. This is unacceptable. He is trying to make children commit suicide, which is unacceptable. That's all of his tweets on Twitter. And look, he said that AlphaDog64 wasn't him, but that is a lie. Because this is the same stuff that AlphaDog64 posted. And it's his second account, so he's also being accused of making another account just to evade a ban, which is bad. Yeah, like, this is a low. If you thought that guys like, let's say, Zero Paladin XV4 are bad and 89 Image 3 are bad, this guy stoops to a whole new level and he's bullying children. A lot of Loud House fans are children. And this is a new low. And it's sad to see him do this because it's a sad attempt at trying to be edgy. We all know what he's really like. He's a user that's full of himself, like a lot of other people on the internet. Yeah, and look at this. The Loud House has female protagonists, the Loud Sisters. Look, I'm not trying to diss you for hating the Loud House. It's okay if you hate the show. I'm just mad at the stuff you have done. Because attacking well-respected fans of shows they like is wrong. And this is the same kind of stuff that Photobomb Reviewer has pulled off. Seriously, like, I cannot believe it. All of this posts are directed hate towards Loud House fans, and AlphaDog64 is his alt account that already got suspended. This guy should be suspended from Twitter. He shouldn't even be near a computer. You need to get a life. Yeah, Alpha Dog 64 and Zero Dragon 68 are the same person. Oh, Wensley. Yeah, this is the same thing. I mean, come on. Calling them worse than bigoted. Yeah, saying that they're worse than Nazis and terrorists is very bad. It's going too far. It's a stretch. And he makes fun of people with autism too. This is another thing that's bad about him. He makes fun of people with autism and says that anyone that doesn't function like a human being, it's okay to make fun of. That's not true. It's wrong. You cannot make fun of people with disabilities. They can't help themselves. They're born the way they are. People with autism are born the way they are, and they can't change themselves. No one can. No one's perfect. Yeah, that's all he does is basically attack Loud House fans and send death threats to them. This guy needs to go. I will say that The Loud House is better than South Park. That's just my opinion, though. Yeah, The Loud House is better than South Park and Big Mouth. So yeah, how about that? That's all he's doing. He's attacking Loud House fans, and he's attacking fan artists of them. This is unacceptable. I've even reported some of these tweets. Yeah, and he's saying that Rick and Morty is better than The Loud House. That's not true. I think Rick and Morty is not nearly as good as The Loud House. And Rick and Morty fans have their own problems, alright? You see, like, hear me out, okay? Rick and Morty fans are the same guys that think they're smarter than everyone else, but in reality, they're bigots themselves, and a lot of them are really toxic. I stopped watching Rick and Morty. I mean, I am not interested in seeing later seasons of Rick and Morty. Season 3, in my opinion, hasn't been really interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, I'm actually gonna post a meme on DeviantArt. A Drake posting me a meme of Drake preferring The Loud House over Rick and Morty. Yeah. And he says the same comment over and over. This is unbelievable. It's the same posts over and over, and freaking Rick and Morty fanboys. Yeah, they think they're smart, but they're not. Keep in mind, this guy is in the same fandom as the guy who was infamous for complaining about Szechuan sauce. Yeah, it's the same thing over and over again. Yeah, same Yeah, and that, speaking of that Szechuan sauce, that just goes to show how immature the Rick and Morty fan base can become. Yeah, and look. All of his posts on DeviantArt are screenshots from his Twitter posts. I am the first to say that this guy needs to get a life, and Rick and Morty fans can't be taken seriously because of this. Yeah, this guy, of course, needs to go. And if anyone says Rick and Morty is better than the Loud House, well, I'll respect them, but if anyone else attacks any well-respected Loud House fans, they're getting the boot. And they're getting exposed. So yeah. And he induces suicide on children, and of course, what makes it worse is the fact that he's done this since November. And this guy needs to be exposed. I'm surprised no one else is doing a rant about him. So yeah, I will of course say that you definitely need to get a life. I tried to reason with him. I actually tried to reason with this clown, and it's impossible to do so. And he has made an alt account just to evade a ban. So if you see this guy, do yourselves a favor and report his tweets, block him, and of course, watch out for him. He might attack you next. You might be next on his list. So any Loud House fan that's come across him, I feel bad for you guys. I'm not the biggest fan of Rick and Morty. I wasn't the biggest fan for a long time. But this is why I'm not in the Rick and Morty fandom anymore. I tried to be in the fandom, but I can't tolerate stuff like this. And the package reviewer, if you're seeing this video, I'd like you to do a rant on this guy. I sent out any and all proof of why he should be banned off the internet. So yeah, definitely avoid Zero Dragon 68 like the plague. And yeah, you of course know how I feel towards this guy. It just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? This guy actually, of course, caused me mental damage. And now I'm trying to recover from it. But I'm here to break the news and tell you guys why he needs to be exposed. For the clown he is, and the absolute creep he is, for trying to make children commit suicide and trying to make children watch adult cartoons, which they're too young for. I'm not saying Rick and Morty and South Park are bad shows, they're alright, but nowhere near as good as The Loud House in my opinion. And they're not for children, they're adult cartoons, that's why they're called adult animation. Yeah, no kid should watch South Park and Rick and Morty, especially if they're gruesome and violent. So yeah, this is the Bandito saying, watch out for Zero Dragon 68. And hope the package reviewer gets this guy and unpacks him. Bandito